Hi, I'm Mike from Borne Off-Road, and today I'm going to show you how to install your Bronco direct fit ditch light pair and ditch light set. If you're looking to install our Bronco direct fit ditch light pair, here are the parts to the kit. You have your pod lights, your pod light brackets, hardware kit, your ditch light mounting brackets, and if you purchase the Upfitter kit, it will come with this harness. If you purchase the non-Upfitter kit, it'll come with this harness. If you order the direct fit Bronco ditch light set, you'll find a few more parts included in the packaging. You have your 4 pod lights, your 4 pod light brackets, hardware kit, splitters, your ditch light mounting brackets, and if you purchase the Upfitter kit, it'll come with this harness here, and if you purchase the non-Upfitter kit, it'll come with this harness. Tools for the install: 4mm hex wrench, a T25 Torx, T30 Torx, ratchet, 8mm socket, 13mm socket, 15mm socket, non-marring pry tool, needle nose pliers, side cutters, wire strippers, and a closed barrel terminal crimp tool. So whether you purchase the ditch light set or the ditch light pair, you can follow these next steps for both variations. During the install process, we'll show you the differences between the ditch light pair and the ditch light set. We'll also show you the installation differences between the Upfitter setup and the universal harness. All right, first we're going to assemble our pod lights. We want to attach this bracket here. But before you attach this, you want to put your mounting bolt in the bracket, like that. And then we'll grab a serrated washer, and that goes in between the body of the light and the bracket, like this. We'll grab a 4mm hex bolt and insert it into the bolt cover and thread that into the light. And you don't have to tighten these yet, just get them just hand tight. Bam! All right, next we're going to remove the cowl. But before we can do that, we have to remove the windshield wipers. So before you remove your windshield wipers, you want to mark where they are on the windshield. So when you go to put them back, you don't put them back in the wrong place. I just like to use masking tape for this. All right, to remove your windshield wipers, take this little rubber cap off right here. And there's a 15mm nut there. Just remove that. So once you have the nut removed, you want to just give these a wiggle. They'll pop right off. All right, so go ahead and remove the other wiper. Now we want to remove the 2 Torx fasteners on both sides of the cowl. One's a T30 and one's a T25. All right, so get some sort of prying tool. I'm using a panel tool so it doesn't scratch anything. And you want to get underneath the end of the cowl here and start to pry this up. It's just held in with some plastic clips. And come around the other side. And be careful when you're doing this. Your windshield washers have hoses hooked to them, and you don't want to pull up on this too hard and tear those hoses in half. See the hose there? So you don't want to tear that. All right, once you have the cowl dislodged, you want to just unplug the windshield washer fluid hose. Just pull straight out on it. It should come right off. And you can remove the cowl. All right, so if you have the Upfitter kit, what you want to do is you want to go in here in the engine bay and locate this wire harness right here with these colored wires. Once you do that, pull these out of here and find the green wire with the brown stripe. All right, next you want to grab a pair of wire cutters and you want to trim off this black portion here from the end of the wire. Next, grab a pair of wire strippers, and you want to strip off about 1/4 inch of insulation here. Not too much. About a 1/4 inch would be just right. Give your wires a twist. This will help you insert them into the pin. All right, now grab the pin out of your kit and locate this little flange on the pin. Can you see that? You see how there's a long side and a short side? The wires get inserted into the short side. All right, there you go. All right, next you want to grab your crimpers, and these have to be a closed barrel terminal crimper, otherwise it won't work right. Insert your terminal into the crimper and crimp it. All right, now grab your plug out of your kit, and we're going to push the pin through the back side of the plug in the empty space here. And you want to push this in until it clicks. And then just give it a little light tug just to make sure it's engaged. Grab the wedge and insert it into the plug, and this will lock in your pins. Now we're going to remove this bolt from this ground wire. We'll slip this onto the bolt and then reinstall the bolt. All right, grab the Upfitter harness out of the kit and find the female plug. The female plug plugs into this plug here that you just installed. And then we're going to run this wiring up through the cowl to the lights. When you do this, make sure that you route your wiring so that when you open and close the hood, your wiring doesn't get pinched by this hinge. All right, go ahead and plug in your light and just tuck this wiring down into here. And then go around to the other side and do the same thing. If you purchase the light pod set, it's going to come with this additional harness, this splitter. What you want to do is plug the female end of your splitter into here, and then both of your light pods would plug into this, and your other one will go in here. Now we're going to install the wiring harness, and I like to start with mounting the relay first. In this setup here, we have this optional bracket. This is a relay mounting bracket that can be purchased on our website separately, but this will hold 5 relays and it keeps them nice and tidy. If you don't want to use this, you don't have to. You'll have to find somewhere, to mount this relay in the vehicle. Just like that. So we have a relay mounted, but I'm not going to hook up the power yet. All right, we're going to wait until we run all of the wiring before we hook up the power. All right, so locate your switch on the wiring harness, and you want to go ahead and unplug your switch for now and just set the switch aside. All right, next you want to disconnect all of your spade connectors from the switch. And to do that, you just grab some needle nose pliers, you depress the tab and pull out. Take your switch harness and you want to feed this end through the hole that you made for your switch. In this case, we came out with this optional direct fit switch panel. This will be available on our website, and it allows you to mount multiple switches. All right, this is where you want to grab your card that we included for wiring your switch, and that'll help you identify where to plug these into the back of the switch. So this is your black wire. is your white wire and your blue wire. And then go ahead and feed your switch into the hole. All right, we ran all of our wiring through here inside the fender. This is like a really good spot to run your wiring. It keeps everything nice and clean. You can see where we went in right here. And everything comes out on this side over here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the lead for our switch and we're going to run it through this grommet right here in the firewall. So we'll pull that out and we'll poke a hole in it and we'll push our wiring through that. If you don't want to use that, you know, you can find another way through the firewall. There's also a harness down here with a bunch of wiring that you could go through. All right, so pulling the grommet out, that's what that looks like. And we're going to poke a hole right through the center. Well, that worked better. All right, so we made our hole in our grommet here and we fished our switch lead through it. Next, we just want to fish this through the hole and reinstall the grommet. All right, so now we have our grommet reinstalled. What we'll do is we'll go inside and we'll pull all this excess through the grommet into the cabin. All right, now you want to take the wire that you fed in from the engine bay, from the harness, and connect your switch to it. And then take your wiring and tuck it up inside of the dash. All right, now we're going to run our lighting wires. We're going to run them underneath the hood hinge, just like this. Make sure that when you shut the hood, this hinge doesn't interfere with your wires. All right, take one of your light wires and run it over to the passenger side. Take your driver's side light harness, coil up all the extra, and just tuck it down inside of here. Just like that. All right, now we want to trim these tabs off of your cowl. And what that'll do is that'll allow you to be able to run your wire underneath the cowl. All right, so I'm going to just use a pair of tin snips to do this. You don't have to do it this way. You can use whatever you have available to you. All right, next we're going to lay the cowl up here, and you want to reattach your windshield washer fluid hose. All right, now we're going to assemble your pod light to your ditch mounting bracket. And you want to grab one of your 13 mil nylock bolts out of your hardware kit. And then just position your light roughly where you're going to want it. This is a 13 mil. All right, go ahead and plug in your light now. And just kind of hang this off to the side. All right. Now we're going to attach our Y to the harness here. Connect your pair of pod lights to the Y. Plug in your other pair of lights to the other Y. We'll set this aside. Go ahead and reattach your windshield washer fluid hose. Reinstall your cowl and make sure that your harness plugs are in the cowl, not outside of the cowl. All right, go ahead and place your ditch light bracket into the mounting location. And grab 2 of the longer 4mm hex bolts and 2 of your covers. This is the point where you're going to want to aim your lights however you see fit, and then tighten the bolts on the sides and close the covers. Go ahead and repeat that process for the other side. All right, now go ahead and take your ditch light bracket and set it right on top of where it's going to mount. And then you want to grab 2 of the longer 4mm hex bolts and 2 of the covers. Insert the bolt into the cover and then thread them in. And you can turn the light to get access to the bolt. Go ahead and close your covers. Now at this point, what you're going to want to do is adjust your lights however you see fit, and then tighten all your bolts and close the covers. Included in your kit are 2 wire clips. So just repeat those same steps on this side. Now reinstall your windshield wipers and make sure you line them with the markings that you put on the windshield. All right, now it's time to hook up the power and ground. And what we have here is a bus bar setup. This is a direct fit for the Bronco, and this will be available on our website as an option if you want it. If you don't want to go with this option, you can just use the terminals on your battery. All right, that concludes the installation steps for the direct fit Bronco ditch light set and ditch light pair. You can find our ditch lights and other lighting products on Borne.com. Make sure you go to our channel and subscribe. Thanks for watching.